Hello everyone. In this short video, we're going to demonstrate the fundamental concepts of the Java math class and go over some methods that you would probably use in pretty often in practice. So let's start off with the power operator or the power method. So we're going to define double power. It's going to be equal to Math.pow and passing in the arguments 2 and 3. So as you can see here, this method returns the value of the first argument raised to the power of the second argument. So in this case, 2 to the power of 3. So we would expect that to be 8. And again, there's a lot of documentation here to read. Next, we're going to do square root. So quite simple. It will do the square root of whatever is passed in, whatever parameter is passed in. So in this case, square root of 2. Next, absolute value. Pretty self-explanatory. Before it calculates what the absolute value is of whatever's passed into it. Obviously, you'd be passing in an int in this case because int double value equals math.absolute passing in -10. Again, you can take a look at documentation here. It's quite accessible online. Just search Java math class. And then we're going to print those numbers out. And now let's go into random numbers. So definitely one of the more complicated things when you're just getting started, but once you understand it, it's pretty easy. So what we're doing here is we're simulating a die roll, using we're going to use math, and we're also going to use the random class. So we'll show both ways of doing it. So the Math.random method is you int die1, and then we're casting this to an int. Math.random, and then as you can see here, it returns a double value, so we need to cast it to int. With a positive sign, greater than or equal to 0.0 and less than 1.0. And then at that point, we can just multiply by 6 because that will give us the die 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The other way to do it is to use the random class, which is probably a little easier to do. There's more. It's pretty expansive. So it returns a pseudo-random uniformly distributed int value. So it's not entirely random, but it's close enough for the purposes of whatever you're doing. So between 0 inclusive and the specified value. So that's why we're adding 1, right? Because 1 to 6, not 0 to 5. And then we're going to perform those die rolls. And finally, integer division and modulo operation. So quite straightforward. We're defining two integers, 5 and 2. We're dividing 5 by 2. So we're getting our integer division. So the quotient is going to be 2, and our remainder is going to be 1. So this would give you the answer in a similar method of long division on paper that you've probably done in grade school. So as you can see, we will print out the quotient and the remainder, which is the product of the modulo operator. So let's run it. As you can see here, we perform the power operation. 2/3 power is equal to 8.0. Because again, we're defining it as a double here. Then absolute value, or sorry, I got ahead myself. Square root of 2 is that long number. That's, again, it's a double. So it will produce that. Next, absolute value of -10 is obviously 10. And then we performed a die roll using Math.random. That gave us 4. And then random die roll using random class gave us 6 this time. So 5/2 is, and then lastly, 5/2 is 2. And then with a remainder of 1. So that's how the computer sees that. So Overall, I hope this video was informative as a good starter into the math class. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. And there's also plenty of great resources online. Um, you can even just searching up Java math class, you can look right on the Oracle docs there, and it will give a pretty comprehensive description if you're not using an IDE like IntelliJ. So other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.